Welcome back to Neighborhood's Duelist. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my Ashen deck profile. This is pure right now. I have tried to run Castira, but it just seems rather bricky. So I'm just going to keep it to a pure deck build. Without further ado, I'm going to get straight on to this video. For the main deck, I run 3 copies of Vados, the Eruption Dragon of Destruction, which has the effect of, if this card is in your hand, quick effect, you can target 1 card in the field zone, special summon this card to your opponent's field, and if you do, destroy that field card. Then you can add 1 Ashen Continuous Trap card from your deck, and either put it in your hand or set it down. And if this card leaves the opponent's field and winds up in your graveyard, it is pretty much a dark hole, which is really nice to get rid of all your opponent's monsters, especially against Fire King Snake Eyes. I also play 3 copies of Priestess of the Ashened City. Has the effect of, if off the team, the Ashened City is in your field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only do that once per turn this way. If this card is normal special summon, you can add 1 Ashen card from your deck to your hand, except Priestess of the Ashened City, which is a good, I believe that is the starter if you don't have Vados, the Awakening of Vados in your hand. I run 2 copies of King of the Ashen City. Has the same effect as Priestess and Hero, that if Obsidian is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand and only special summon it this way once per turn. And I believe this effect is during the main phase, you can special summon 1 Ashen monster from your hand, except King of the Ashen City, or if your opponent controls a monster with 2800 or more attack, you can special summon it from your deck instead. So if you wind up getting Vados on your opponent's side of the field, and you bring him out, you can also special summon Hero from the Ashen City from your deck if he's not in your hand. Speaking of, here is the 2 copies of the Hero of the Ashen City. This one has the same effect of Priestess and Hero, that it can be special summoned if Obsidian is in the field zone. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target 1 power monster on the field, destroy it. If you destroyed Vados, the Dragon of Destruction, by this effect, you can place 1 Obsidian, the Ashen City, from your deck to your face up to your field zone. So if you use Vados' effect to pop your own Obsidian from either side of the field, get Hero, pop Vados, you can place Obsidian, and at least by the end of the turn, you can place the Obsidian from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck and then draw a card. That is it so far for the Ashen monsters and the Vados monsters. I also run 3 copies of Eritama. Eritama is a good card to have in your hand, even to start with, because you can use his effect and summon him, and then search for Sakitama. Have Sakitama's effect where you can reveal himself and normal summon for free another spirit monster. So basically, get out Eritama, search for Sakitama, reveal Sakitama, free normal summon Sakitama. Then if you need to, you can go into your rank 4 play, which is basically Infernal Flame Banshee, or if you feel like you want to stall out your opponent, see if you can draw into your cards, you can always go into Paguska, stall them out for a while. The only thing that can stop Paguska is Regeki, Lightning Storm, Darkler No More, and any Link monsters since they don't have defense. I also run 3 copies of Ash Blossom, the best hand trap ever, and 3 Drone Lockbirds. I actually run this for Celine, because Celine has the effect that if I can remove 3 spell counters from the field, I can bring Drone Lockbird back from the graveyard to help me climb into my Link 4 monsters. But it's also good if you can't climb into your Links. It's nice to shut down your opponent from searching his deck, as long as their deck involves searching, like, say, Chimera, Branded. Right there is your answer to stop them from being able to complete their combos. Onto the spells. We have 3 copies of Awakening of Vados. Place 1 Obsidian, the Ashen City, from your deck face up in either field zone. Then if your opponent controls a card in their field zone, you can add a level 5 or higher Dark Power monster from your deck to your hand. And for the rest of this turn, you can basically only special summon from your deck or your extra deck power monsters, so it's still good to try and get your Infernal Flame Banshee out, since it's the only power in the extra deck so far. But with this, you can use the effect, put Alpha Demon on your opponent's side of the field, and then grab Vados. And then you can start making your opponent sweat a little bit. We also have 3 copies of Obsidian, the Ashened City. This is the heart of the deck right here, basically. Face up special summon your opponent, monsters your opponent controls. Become power monsters during your turn only. You can only use each effect once per turn. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can target 1 Obsidian, the Ashened City in your graveyard, place on the bottom deck, then draw 1 card. And if this card in the field zone is destroyed or banished, you can special summon 1 Ashen monster from your deck. We also play Terraforming. I think it's a 1-of so far. I haven't really looked at the ban list in a while. But obviously, if you don't have either card to get Alpha Demon out, hopefully you can draw into Terraforming and get Alpha Demon out, at least start to work on your board so far. And I know a lot of people like to run the Pot of Prosperity in their decks, but I would rather run 3 copies of Triple Texas Talents just because you don't have to sacrifice your extra deck to draw. Also, you could take control of your opponent's card they control, which would also be nice. So you can also climb into your link monsters even better by using your opponent's monsters. Or you can send a card from their hand back to their deck. And since I've found out that the first extra deck monster for this deck is going to be Fusion Monster, I'm going to go ahead and say Super Poly is definitely good for this deck. Because all you gotta do is activate it, discard 1 card from your hand, and then fuse all monsters on the field into anything. But the best part about that is your opponent cannot negate it or activate effects in response to the effect activation. So having 3 Super Polys is definitely good. And of course, as this is the year of hand traps, unfortunately, Call by the Grave is still at 1. I would love to see this brought up to at least 2. But everybody else is running Crossout Designator, and I'm not spending $20+ on each card. I'm cool with 1 Call by the Grave right now. For the traps, I run 2 copies of Ash for Eternity. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Vados, the Eruption Dragon of Destruction, or 1 Ashen monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that you own, take control of that monster, and then you can make all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose the attack equal to the targeted monster's original attack. This attack change is until the end of the turn. You can only activate 1 Ashen for Eternity once per turn, and only activate that effect once per turn. But this is also good because you get this out. Your opponent goes into the opponent ends their turn. On your draw phase, activate Ashen for Eternity. Grab any Ashen monster from your graveyard if you have any. Take control of Vados, make all the opponent's monsters they can currently control lose their attack, build your board up, and just blow into your opponent's monsters. The only thing that cannot be destroyed by that is Yubel. Oh god, that's gonna suck. Oh well. I'm sure it'll be alright. And then, of course, 3 infinite impermanences. Target 1 card, one monster your opponent controls, negate their effects, and if the card is face down when you activate it, you also can lock out that column. And if you have no cards, you can activate it from hand. That's it for the main deck. The extra deck is pretty simple. I don't have Garura and I don't have Typhon, but I've also been able to work into this. I do have 1 Mud Dragon of Swamp, which your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card. With card effects, once per turn, quick effect, you can declare 1 attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of this turn. So you can protect your monster as well as the rest of your board from being destroyed by card effects. 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Takes 2 dark monsters on the field except tokens. If this card is fusion summoned, you can make an attack. You can make this card gain attack equal to 1 opponent's special summon monster until the end of this turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's original name and replaces effects with your opponent's monster's original effects. If this fusion card is destroyed, you can destroy all of your opponent's special summon monsters. 1 Drago Sepelia. which has the effect, quick effect. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, place one predator counter on it, and if it's a level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a predator counter. Negate the activated effects of your opponent's monsters that have predator counters. That's it for fusions. On to the Link monsters. One, Amaraj, which is very easy to get out if you have one of the spirit monsters in there. Since it is the only monster, aside from Ash Blossom and Droll and Logbird, that have less than 1,000 attack, he's very easy to get into. Plus, you can also discard is destroyed by a battle. If you're one of the normal summon monster you control is destroyed by battle and discards in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. So if he's used and your monster is destroyed, you can also bring him back. I also run IP Masquerena because has the effect that during your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this card resolves. Link summon one Link monster using material to control, including this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. A Link summon monster that has used this card's material cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So it's also good for protection. I run the Celine because it has the effect that when it is Link summoned, it gains spell counters to the total number of cards on the spell cards on the field and graveyards. Remove 3, special summon back a spellcaster monster, which is probably Droll and Logbird for right now. Help you climb into your Link 4 monsters. I run one Nightmare Unicorn. When this card is Link summoned, you can discard one card and then target one card on the field and shuffle it back into the deck. And if it was code linked, when this effect was activated, you can also draw a card. The other effect doesn't really apply to this deck since I only run one Nightmare monster in the entire extra deck. We also have one copy of Access Code Talker, which is a beautiful card because your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's effects activations. If this card is Link summoned, you can target one Link monster that was used as material to its links for its Link summon. This card gains attack equal to that monster's original Link rating times 1,000. Then you can banish one Link monster from your field or graveyard, destroy one card your opponent controls. For the rest of this turn, you cannot banish monsters with that same attribute to activate this effect. But luckily you have Light, Dark, and Fire possibly already in your graveyard, so you can banish all 3 of those and then constantly pop your opponent's monsters. That's it for the links. On to the XEs. I run the Utopic Draco Future package. This one takes 2 level 4, 2 XYZ monsters with the same rank except numbers. And honestly, I don't ever use the effect of this card, except I'll bring out Utopic Draco Future by using Utopic Future as material. So it's always good to have an Omni Negate. And then, of course, if your opponent activates a card that was on the field, you can take control of that monster. One Inferno Flame Banshee. You can discard one card, detach material from this card, and search for a level 4 power monster, either add to your hand or send to the graveyard, which you're going to want to grab your Priestess of the Ashened City, since it's the only level 4 power monster in the deck. And if this special, you can special summon this card if it gains attack equal to a number. If this card is banished and you control a power monster, you can special summon this card, and if you do, it gains attack equal to the number of your currently banished cards times 100. We also have one Abyss Dweller because in today's meta, a lot of cards activate in the graveyard, so it's also nice to shut down your opponent's board, as well as possibly shutting down the graveyard as well. One Baguska, that's just for stalling, in case if you don't have what you need. Right, there's at least 2 turns you can go through without being taken out. One Time Thief Redoer has the effect that during each standby phase, it takes a card from your opponent's deck and attaches it to its material. And then you can activate the effects up to the following cards that it's attached to. If it's a monster, you can banish a card to the end phase, spell, draw a card, or a trap. Place one face-up card your opponent controls on the top of the deck. So honestly, I would use him just to keep getting a material to attach to him. Hopefully attack it, and then go to the main phase 2 to attach Zeus to it. So that way I have a good amount of times that I can use the effect to keep board wiping. So that way all I'm left with is Zeus. Hopefully it'll be my turn and I can climb into other monsters if I have anything to work with. If not, I can still at least attack for 3,000. If your opponent tries to do anything, I can activate the effect again if I have enough material underneath him, and just keep attacking until I have more to work with. Alright, that is it for the extra deck. And now I'm going to try and work on a combo to see how this works. Okay. Let's see what we got to work with here. That's not bad. Alright, so I would want to first activate Awaken of Vedas. Put Obsidian on the opponent's side of the field. And because he controls a field card, I can add one Dark Pyro monster from my deck to my hand, which would be Vedas. Okay. Normal summon Eritama. Eritama's effect. Grab Sakitama. Reveal Sakitama to normal summon Sakitama. Go into Infernal Flame Banshee. Detach material. Search for Priestess. Keep that in the hand. Okay, I'm going to target Obsidian, special summon Vedas, destroy Obsidian, activate Obsidian's effect, special summon Priestess. Priestess, when she is special normal summon, I'll grab an Ashen card, which I will grab another Obsidian. And of course, Vedas, Ashen for Eternity. Wait, no. Never mind, that's right. You would want to grab King, special summon King from the deck. Then activate King of the Ashen City's effect because your opponent controls a 2800 level 2800 attack. We'll special summon Hero. Let's see. Activate Hero's effect, pop Vedas, and then put Obsidian. Into the field spell. Of course, because Vedas left the opponent's side of the field, the board wipes the entire board, but it's okay. Because Vedas, let's see. Again, Vedas will come back to us in the next turn. And just to keep things rolling, I'm going to place another Obsidian down to put that one in the graveyard. Place down that. Go to end phase, grab Alcidim, place on the bottom of the deck, draw a card. During the opponent's turn, activate Awaken of Ashened for Eternity, which I will of course grab the Vedas from the graveyard, add to hand. Opponent by chance puts like a field spell out there, or if he doesn't, maybe he'll go to battle phase, and I'll just go quick effect Vedas, target my Obsidian, send it to the grave, bring out Vedas. Vedas will still put another Ashen for Eternity down. But then I'll activate Ashen for Eternity, still back Vedas. And then, of course, because I'll have him, all the monsters will lose 20 under attack. But during the battle phase, I don't think they're going to want to attack with 0 attack monsters, possibly 0 attack or anything less than his attack. But then I'll probably activate something like Super Poly, tribute him, and if they have another dark monster on their side of the field, grab Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Alright, I gotta discard a card. I'll just discard Droll. And since Vados left my side of the field, because of a card effect, it will not board wipe. I know that's a lot of work to go into. Right now, that's basically what the main strategy is basically just keep board wiping your opponent. Of course, the drawback is you can also take care of your own board with Vedas, but it's still not a bad play. Now, once we come out with a new support, this deck might actually be very good against other decks besides anything that runs a field spell. Right now, the only thing I know this thing makes people rage quit on is Fire King Island, because, of course, Fire King Island's effect is when it leaves the field, then it destroys all cards on your opponent's side of the field, well, monsters anyways. So that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you think about this, and maybe in the future, I'll try to run this deck with the new support that comes out, and possibly even throw in the Cashier deck profile, because honestly, that's not bad either. Until then, I hope you guys have a great